Alright, am I live? Is it working? I genuinely have no idea. I think it worked? I think. Ugh, okay, it's been a while since I've done this, so I don't know if I've messed something up or forgotten something. You hear me? Great. Is the music too loud? I'm using slightly different audio settings. I might try and turn it down a little bit. It might get like a bit louder and quieter. We'll see how we go with that. EB, but yes. Hello. Hello, Dex. Hello, Phantom. I think Laura was here, but they have gone back to sleep. But hello if you are still hanging around. Right. So, I started, I think, a couple minutes early, but it's alright. It's alright. A couple of minutes isn't going to do anything. In fact, let me just make sure that the Discord notification went out, because I know that's how a lot of people know that the streams are live. It did. That's good. Okay. Hi, Tim. So, today's stream is all about checking out 3 of the core class mods. Obviously, recently, the Artificer mod, which you can see here, came to console, which obviously prompted me to want to make things with Artificer because it is one of the core classes from tabletop that hadn't been added yet, but now is available to all platforms. So I figured, obviously taking a look at how Artificer has been made in-game, to get an idea of how builds could potentially work for it. I probably will do quite a few Artificer build videos, like, after this stream. I'll probably do, like, one for each subclass. And then, obviously, I thought, well, why not, instead of just doing that, we can also take a look at Mystic, which obviously was from tabletop, but never actually made it to live play. It was Unearthed Arcana. And then the Witch, which everyone tells me is really good, but I've not actually looked at it yet. So we're going to give it a try. Hello, boss. Oh, Laura is here. I thought you were going to go back to sleep, lovely. Oh, dear. I do know that this version of Artificer is busted beyond belief. That's not actually what I want to hear, but okay. We'll have to take a look at it. I did have a brief read of, like, the mod description page, and I did, like, raise my eyebrow a little bit at some things, but we will have to see. So basically we'll just do, like, a go-through of it, and just kind of see what happens. Hopefully it's not too bad. You think they've done the Artificer dirty? Maybe. I don't know, because I know there was an Artificer mod that was on Nexus that was really, really good, and this isn't the same one, but I'm hoping it'll be, like, good enough. If it's not, then, well, what else can I do? If I find it's just, like, too broken and it's not quite in the same spirit as the original, I might not use it, but the whole reason we're here is to see if it is good. So that's the plan. The Nexus one is vastly superior. Yeah, and I imagine that's because in order to get this one on console, I imagine it had to take, like, a lot of concessions to, like, make things work. But again, we'll see. You're feeling bleeding build this morning? Oh, dear. Right. I suppose there's no reason not to just get started with it, really. Unless I want to give people a little bit more time just to join the streamers. We did start slightly early. Like I said, let me just double check that everything's okay. Double check the YouTube thing, because YouTube was getting a little bit on my case, because I was like, yeah, I'm just going to have... Oh, we're going to start with Artificer, because it's got the most going on that's relevant to me, at least. Alright, seems like we're doing okay for now. So, yeah. Let's take a little bit of a peek. Hi, Louise. Good to have you here. Or Louise? Oh, sorry. Early morning on the East Coast here. Yeah, I would imagine. Cool. Yeah, because you're in EST time, aren't you? If I remember correctly. But yeah, anyways. Let's just get straight into it with Artificer. So, I mean, obviously the big thing from Artificer from tabletop is the infusions. So I'm curious to see how that works here. Okay, you just get the regular cantrips. They're all vanilla cantrips, so it's not getting anything from Mr. Spells. There'll have to be a compatibility patch to come out for that. But, you get all the usual stuff. You get a bunch of good stuff here. Thorn Whip, Firebolt, Guidance, Mage Hand, Resistance, Rare Frost. You get a lot of the good offensive cantrips. Getting Thorn Whip is a nice addition. And Guidance especially, I love. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know. We'll get those 2 for now. Level 1 spell list. Okay, immediately seeing some good things. Like, I kind of have a general idea of what's on the Artificer spell list. So this is interesting to see. Obviously, I'm seeing Shield and Sanctuary, which is huge. Hi, Eclipse. Good to have you here. Those are two very big spells to have. Obviously, we have a lot of the good utility spells here. Magic Missile being there. Grease, Healing Word. It's a lovely 20 degrees in freedom units. Yeah, I'm actually... For the record, if the stream suddenly dies without warning, the UK is currently experiencing like an actual hurricane. Storm Darragh, I believe it is. And I live on the coast. I'm getting battered with the full force of like up to 80-mile-an-hour winds. I'm basically like Florida right now without the flooding. Like, it's not fun. Not fun at all. So if the stream suddenly goes down, that means either my internet died or the power went out. Yeah, I am the... Yeah, that's a good point, boss. I didn't even think about that. It's not a prepared caster, actually. It is supposed to be a prepared caster, Artificer is. It's loud for Storm. Yeah, honeyest. Yeah, absolutely. Welcome to the stream, by the way. You're a new name that I don't recognize. Welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay. Yeah, no, it was loud. It was loud last night, and now, like, I woke up this morning to, like... Well, I've got a tree down. There is a tree down in my yard. It came down, like, an hour ago. Like, a tree in my yard actually came down. I said yard. Garden. I see Americanisms coming out of me when I lived in Canada. But, like, yeah, so there's a tree down in my garden. And my bins went flying. I thought I'd secured them properly, but I guess I hadn't. Ugh. Amateurs. Fair enough, Ilya. Fair enough. But anyways, yeah. So we got these spells, but they're not prepared, which is a little annoying. And here are the infusions. So we've got Armor of Magical Strength, Strength saving throws and checks, receiving intelligence modifier. Okay, I don't like the wording of this feature, but I know what it is. Hi, Raiden, good to have you here. Yes, it has been a while. You've been watching every build video? First stream, though. Well, I'm glad to have you here, honeyest, and I'm glad you're enjoying the channel. Laura, Quebec, Canada for you? Yeah, I used to live in Ontario, so I wasn't far from you. Is the Waffle House closed? No, I don't think it would be in this situation. I mean, I can't stay for long. Going to see the local Odin. Ooh. Sorry you can't stay for too long. But I hope you enjoy your trip. The infusions and subclasses are level 1. Yeah, I did just notice the subclass option there. I forgot the infusions were level 2. Are they normally level 2, aren't they? Yeah, normally it's level 2 and 3. Yeah. I'm already not like it. I'll be honest, I know it's like judging a book by its cover. I'm really not liking this mod already, and I don't like being like, you know, like that, but it kind of is. What we got over here? Experimental elixir, create a potion or bomb, or replicate magic item. I think the experimental elixir is coming from the alchemist subclass. You haven't gotten to modding the game yet, just a few XP mods. Well, the in-game mode manager does make it a lot easier. But okay, so this one is going for strength saving throws and checks, gain a bonus equal to your intelligence modifier. Okay, I see that. It also is using AI art, I think. Yeah, I'm looking at this over here, and I am immediately not a fan. And if I'm being 100% honest, if that is a continuing theme, I'm never using this mod. I'm going to wait for a better Artificer mod, because... No. I'll be honest, I'm already very turned off of this mod. But let's see. Dexterity checks receive and receiving intelligence modifier. Okay. It's a continuing theme? Yeah, okay. I'm going to look through it anyway, just because I'm curious, but honestly, if this mod is continuing to be presented in the way that it is, I'm like, probably not. I mean, presentation is whatever, but, like, if it's AI art as well as, you know, just being completely busted and broken and, like, not actually faithful to the tabletop version, I'm just going to skip it, and we'll try other things. So we've got this one, yeah, so dexterity checks receive your intelligence modifier. Okay. That's not how it's supposed to be worded. They did your favorite class dirty. Oh, no. Okay. Add a +1 to spell attack rolls, and at level 10, add a +2. Okay. That's not grossly overpowered. Not in this game. Add a +1 to your armor class, and at level 10, add a +2. That's pretty good as a bonus action. Enhanced weapon. Add a +1 to melee weapon attacks and ranged weapon attacks. Okay, so basically you're just like getting a +1 or +2 weapon added on. But I'm guessing with this, it's going to get added on to the weapon's already existing magic bonus. I bet they didn't account for that. Because in tabletop, you can't do it to already magic weapons, I think, that get those bonuses anyway. So I imagine this is going to stack in this game, which is obviously going to be quite strong. You have a feeling it was probably balanced with AI to keep it from separating the Wizard of the Coast version due to the modding rules. Right. That actually does make a lot of sense. Good luck with Mystic, especially since I have zero idea how to even start with that class. Well, that's the plan. I want to look at Mystic in detail and get a good idea of it today. Returning weapon. Add homing at a weapon. Okay, either this was written with AI, or I'm just expecting AI everything now, just looking at the art. Maybe I'm going a bit overzealous. Or, obviously, English might not be this person's first language, which is absolutely fine. Not a problem there. I understand what it's saying, but maybe, like, getting, like, a proper, like, translated thingy might be better. I don't know. Yeah. And then finally, Mind Sharpener. Gain advantage on concentration. Just at level 1, you get Warcaster. That was something that, you know, you're normally supposed to use items to fish for. Blood Ranger? Yeah, I know you've been talking about that one in the Discord, me and I've not actually looked at it. Maybe we can have a look at it a bit later. Okay, so these are the infusions. At level 1, a lot of these are extremely strong. I'm immediately drawn to the ones that give the flat bonuses and the advantage on concentration. Adding homing to a weapon can be very deadly as well. Hello, Poop. Are you alright? Also, Mind Sharpener is level 2 and much more busted. Mind Sharpener is normally an auto success. Oh. Oh yeah, Raiden, you know I'm doing that. You know I'm doing that. You know I'm doing Dancer of Elistray remake, remaster. That'll be a remake, because it's obviously using an entirely different class. Like the Talos build I released yesterday. Yeah, I mean... right off the bat, like something like this, for a spellcaster variant, feels very powerful. Obviously, getting the buff to your armor class is also pretty crazy. Hi, Pi, can't wait for patch 8. Yeah, I suspect it's going to release in January. Maybe mid to late, because they have a tendency to do stuff like that. Right, here we are with the... Oh, are they even the icons AI? I kind of feel like they might be. So here we are with the subclasses. Again, this is supposed to be level 3, but for some reason it's been put at level 1. Virgil, Shadow Sorcerer remake? Oh yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yes! I'm really looking forward to having Death Domain. It's going to be really fun. Right, so am I crazy? Can I just ask anyone who's more knowledgeable in like the D&D books and such, are all the new classes being added from stuff prior to Tasha's? Because from my understanding, wasn't Bladesinger and Hexblade from Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide, or like a different book? And then the rest was, and then the rest of the stuff is like PHB or other stuff? Your favorite 5e subclass? Yeah, because I can't remember if Hexblade was Tasha's or not. So I find it interesting that if it's Hexblade is from Tasha's, if I remember correctly, that they've actually got Tasha's stuff in the game. Bladesinger is from Tasha's, Swarmkeeper is from Tasha's as well. Oh, okay. Yeah, I find it interesting that they finally got Tasha's stuff, because that was like a big thing that they like didn't have Tasha's stuff when the game launched. Hexblade is Xanathar's? Yeah, and I thought Bladesinger was Sword Coast Adventurer's guy. Isn't it? Pretty sure Bladesinger originated from there. Yeah, Larion will absolutely buff Arcane Archer. Anyways, moving on. So you get Experimental Elixir, create an Experimental Potion or Bomb. You can create magic items. They last until a long rest. So what, you just get to replicate an item in your inventory? That's interesting. Guardian Thunder Gauntlets. Yep, I know about this one. Your melee weapon attacks deal 1d4 thunder... Excuse me? Your melee weapon attacks deal 1d4 thunder damage. You have a chance to inflict Compelled Duel. Curious to see how Hexblade actually works. I'll be interested if it's separate from Pact of the Blades. You can actually do the dual wielding shenanigans. Stars is Tasha's too? Interesting, okay. Arcane Archer is Xanathar's as well? Hmm. Yeah, okay, boss. I get what you mean. You can either go for the Infiltrator version, Lightning Launcher, your ranged weapon attacks deal 1d4 lightning damage, and you have a chance to inflict Shocked, which is the one where they can't take reactions. Oh no, yeah, cannot take reactions, have disadvantage on ability checks and saving throws using dexterity. And then we have Resistant Armor. You gain resistant to elemental damage. Okay. Artillerist. This one, yeah, this is the one where you get the Eldritch Cannon. And you also get repeating shots. You can shoot twice with your ranged weapon. Okay, so you're getting extra attack at level 1? Oh, interesting, boss. Okay. These icons do not look good? No, we're fairly certain they're AI generated. Yeah, this feels... Yeah, okay, so you just get extra attack at level 1. For fuck's sake. That is already making me think, nope, I never ever want to use this mod in videos. I'm already so against it. But perhaps I'm wrong. Maybe that's not actually how it works. And then Battlesmith. You gain a Steel Defender. You gain the effects of the Alert feat. Okay, so you just get a feat. You just get a feat. Okay. Instead of its dexterity modifier, the Battlesmith adds its spellcasting ability modifier to attack rolls. Okay. You get Intelligence Hexblade at level 1. However, it costs both an action and a bonus action. Alright, well, let's have a look at it then. I'm actually curious. Let's put the ability scores on. Wait a minute, am I something fucky here? Why do these ability scores look wrong? Crazy. No. Hang on. Why am I at an 18 at level 1? Wait a fucking... Excuse me? Why is there a +3 bonus? Okay, no. This mod just shits on everything I stand for as a build maker. It's using AI art. It, obviously, maybe because of copyright issues, it's completely butchered most of the stuff for the tabletop version already. And it's just, it's giving you a +3 at level 1. Are you joking me, man? I'm gonna take a look at this. What is all these skill proficiencies? Is this normal for Artificer as well? I can't remember. I'm thinking we could skip it. Just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I need to check this repeating shot thing. I don't have a melee weapon, ranged weapon on me. Give me a second. Let me just grab one. Oh, this is about to look so unorganized. Alright, give me the dead shot, sure. We'll use the dead shot for now. Oh, man, this is such a disappointment, if this is the case. Right. So we get, like, what? Okay, so we get 2 infusion charges, and then we go for repeating shot. And then what? We just, if I go into turn-based mode, is it, like, can I do? Oh, I can't even really test it. Unless I'm in combat. Which I'm gonna die as soon as I try. Oh, no, I don't want to be you. Go away. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Yeah. This costs a bonus action to apply. Lasts until your next long rest. And then, in theory, you do just get repeating shot. Let me see if it's... For the record, I can't see half the shit here, because... Eldritch Cannon as well. Which I think you summon Eldritch Cannon Pistol. So you do get the pistol form, which is nice. At least I think you do. Oh no, it's not even... Wait, it's not a weapon? It's just an action that you have. Shoot 2 projectiles that deal 2/3 of weapon damage. Oh, it just turns your already existing weapon into the... Right. Oh, repeating shot. Yeah, so you just get to shoot 2 projectiles. Right. I didn't even see that. An Eldritch Cannon Projector. That is the sonic thing. Flamethrower. Oh, they're just skills that you get. I see, okay. Yeah, I see it. Okay, so it's like the Swords Bard slashing flourish, where you just get to shoot 2. I mean, which you'd get a level 3 as Swords Bard, but getting it at level 1 here feels pretty insane. I mean, it deals 2/3 of the weapon damage, so it's not huge, I guess, but I'm sure the math still works out at being better? Huh. Man, I don't know. Man. Let's... Right. Yeah, you can stack it with Sharpshooter too. Wild Magic Barb was Tasha's? Really? Huh. Could've sworn. Okay. Well, I've got to say, I'm sure a lot of work went into this mod. I'm sure the creator did their best. But I have to admit, I'm not impressed by the overall presentation, shall we say. Again, the use of AI art aside as well. I don't know. I think the way they've remixed it into just being kind of overpowered. Hi, Red. Good to have you here. Thank you for moderating. I must admit, I think this one is a big skip. I feel like it... I don't know. Maybe. Let's just level up through one of the subclasses and just see how we go. We've already started with Artificer, so let's just go with that and just see how we go. I need to move chat for a second. There we go. It's a power fantasy mod? Yeah, in a way. But at the same time, when it comes to like what I do on my channel, I like to make it so that they do feel balanced and not too overpowered if I do use mods. That's why I heavily curate the mods that I do use. This, I don't know. It's not giving me good vibes. After a short rest, your arcane reserves are replenished, restoring 1 infusion to your magical reserves. Okay, that's perfectly reasonable. If you have infusion, you can cast a spell with infusion at the first turn of combat without using infusion. Elemental adaptation. At the start of combat, you become vulnerable to force lightning and thunder damage. After you receive force lightning or thunder damage, you become immune to that element for the rest of combat. Oh my god. Yeah, just become immune to up to 3 damage types, 2 of which are extremely common. Yeah, no, this is... Gain advantage at intelligence saving throws and skill checks. Okay, so just always have advantage on int checks. That's okay. In combat, you cast Magic Stone at the start of every turn. Oh, that's fine. That's not insane. Critical Surge. Once a turn when you land a critical hit, you gain a surge. You surge of arcane energy, restores 1 arcane jolt. Yeah, that's fine. Your connection to the arcane pulses with regularity, restoring 1 arcane jolt every 3 turns while in combat. I'm guessing arcane jolt is what fuels a lot of you. I think from what I read on the mod page, that like feels like your main feature. So like if you had Alchemist Artificer, you'd get to make like another potion. Okay. Arcane recalibration. After a short rest, your reserves replenish, restore. Well, that just seems worse than the previous one, but okay. Okay, that's just a transportation wizard feature. You can throw using a bonus action. That's actually okay. That's actually a kind of a nice feature. Elixir Instinct. If you have Arcane Jolt, you can cast Experimental Elixir. Okay, a lot of these are for specific ones. Hide all allies within 90... What does that even mean in this context? What? Gain 1 reaction... This does not give you a second reaction at level 2. Arcane Vanguard? You know what? I can just go and install Arcane Vanguard and we can look at that instead of this. Because I've looked at it and I'm like, it seems a bit powerful, but I don't know. We'll have a look. Please tell me this is not actually a second reaction at level 2. The only other way to get a second reaction in this game is from a legendary weapon at the very... like, in Act 3. I said I'd keep going. I'm going to keep going. So I'm going to pick that one up. And I'm going to pick... you add your intelligence modifier to ranged weapon attack roll. Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's take that. Artificer, level 3. We get 1 more Arcane Jolt. The right tools for the job. Once per short rest, you can summon a Thieves' Tool, Trap, Disarming Kit, Shovel, and Bottle of Water. They disappear after 5 turns. That I actually like. This is something cool that I would like maybe is like an in-game item that's just like once per short rest. Like it's almost like a bag of holding where like once per short rest you could just pull out like the tool that you need and it like is temporary. It only works for like that thing. Like so if you find you've accidentally run out of thieves tools or something, you could just quickly pull one out like in a pinch. That I actually like the idea of. I actually think that's a really fun thing, specifically for Baldur's Gate 3. I'm just looking. You say end the misery. I'm just having a look. Your spells deal... Your ranged weapon attack deals an extra 1 force damage. Okay, that's not insane. Arcane Firearm, your spells deal an extra 1d4 damage. Okay, I immediately think of Magic Missile doubling in its attack power. That is stupid. You gain more proficiencies? Oh no, you get a weapon proficiency. We've already got longbow proficiency. I mean, I guess... You just get to choose any weapon proficiency? Bloody hell. I mean, I guess heavy crossbow? Oh, someone who run out of thieves' tools, I agree. Also, armor? Yeah, I see that. Right, you get access to level 2 spells here. And again, I think the spells are the most balanced thing here. Because at least they actually are from the Artificer spell list. They're not incredibly busted because they're actually just vanilla content. You'd like to mention Arcane Firearm is level 5 normally. Jeez, man. What are they doing here? I mean, you got some interesting spells here anyway. My magic weapon makes sense. Branding Smite, kind of cool, actually. But again, you think of Magic Missile with that previous feature, that is just stupid broken. Scorching Ray is a cool feature. Heat Metal makes sense. I mean, all of these, like, make sense for the class, in my opinion, but, like... Again, this is the most balanced thing about the class, is that it just has a fairly ordinary spell list. Yeah, that's a good point, Ben Ross. There really needed to be another, like, intelligence thing added in 2021, and there just wasn't. Alright, what do we get at this level? Not much, which is fine with me. At this point, it's honestly kind of welcome. We did get 2 more infusions, though. We just get to add more insane shit. Fine, let's get more... I mean, you can completely offset Sharpshooter by the time you're done with this class, I think. Sure, let's get a +1 to armor class and a +1 to our ranged weapon attacks. And now we get to also choose a feat. I don't think anything got added here. No, we still got the Tasha's feats here, which are fairly balanced. I mean, I guess you would just take an intelligence boost? Yeah, hi Ace. Yeah, no, I've played on my own with like the Nexus version of this before, and it's so much more faithful. But I'm guessing because it's way more complicated and how it changes the game is why this is the version that made it to console. But I do think Larian... Okay, don't get me wrong. I feel like I do... Like, this is one thing where I'm a bit like, with Larian. This is something that's irked me with them recently. I'm not talking about like mod quality control or anything like that. They're obviously looking at each mod and seeing what can be added to console. That's fine. But you'd think Larian, whose biggest game ever was based on, you know, D&D, which is a huge role-playing game that, you know, and there's a lot of creativity that goes into it. A lot of people will homebrew their own campaigns. A lot of people will homebrew their own classes, all that. But a lot of the things that happen in D&D is when people do art for it. You know, they draw their characters, they make the maps, they do all this really cool stuff, and then... You know, they let AI art onto the platform. Like, onto their modding manager. Like, I don't know. I feel like there should be, like, a thing against it. I mean, I guess it doesn't really hurt Larian or anything like that at the end of the day. But, I don't know. I mean, you guys know personally that I have a stance against AI art. I don't like using it for, you know, like, gain or whatever like that. Like, if you use it, like... And the environmental impact is whatever, like, I understand that that's an issue, but if you use AI art in, like, for, like, your own personal thing, where, you know, you're not actually, like, presenting it or trying to sell it, or, like, using it, like, in, like, on, like, your chant, on, like, a social media or whatever, I mean, that's not, I mean, I'm not going to say I like it, but I'm not going to say, like, I don't, like, I'm, like, not going to be, like, 100%, like, oh, no, you're shit, or whatever. No, that's obviously not the case. If you use AI art personally, for your own thing, whatever. But having it all, like, whenever I go to, like, the mod manager store and I just see it all over the mod manager, I'm just like, really? I don't know. Yeah, exactly, boss. I get what you mean. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. I don't like AI art at all. I think it's going to be a massive, massive problem. And I do think having AI art on the mod manager and in the game as a result is kind of spitting in the face of the tabletop community that made this game possible in the first place. And I do think Larian needs to seriously reconsider that. That's just my stance on it, though. Not going to speak on it anymore. Let's just continue. Okay. Next up. Flash of Genius. Once per combat, when you or an ally fail a saving throw, you can add your intelligence modifier to the saving throw. Okay, and potentially make it a success. I mean, that seems kind of like, I mean, your concentration saves are going to get a massive boost then, so... I mean, yeah, and it's you or an ally as well, so that's still kind of broken. Gain more infusions, and more arcane jolts. I mean, yeah, that just makes sense. Another cantrip, fine. More spells. We're still only at level 2 spells. Again, that feels like the most balanced thing about the mod so far. I'm going to keep saying that. Oh, hey, the level 7 ability. Yeah, level 5. They definitely tried to squeeze everything into this. Oh, look, we've hit level 3 spells. What do we get? Fireball. Yep, makes sense. Conjure Barrage. Interesting. Lightning Bolt. Oh, yep, there's Haste. I was wondering if Haste was going to show up here. Also, I feel like we're getting level 3 spell slots a bit early. Is that just me? Don't you normally only get level 3 spell slots at level 9 with half classes like this? Because that's Paladin, right? Spell Refueling Ring. You can restore a level 3 spell slot. Once per combat, you can reflect any ranged attack for 3 turns. Add a +1 to the weapon roll and 1d4 radiant. Once per combat can cast Misty Step. I mean, that's just disintegrating Nightwalkers, but... Are you serious? Pocket Stone and Quick Toss. You also get a 6th level spell slot? Why? You're not supposed to. I'll be honest. Oh, look, another weapon proficiency. I'm getting to the point where, like, yeah, I've seen enough. I've seen enough. Holy shit. I'm just gonna... Okay, we're at level 4 spells now. What do we get? Greater Invisibility. Damn. Anything else? Auto Luke's Resilient Sphere. Wow, that's a good one to have. We get another infusion. Any more added? No. We'll take that one. How about another feat? Constitution. They only get light armor proficiency normally? Yeah, well, that's fine. Make that work. Has a +1 bonus to just all saving throws? What? Your understanding of magic items increases. Gain a +1 bonus to attack roll, damage, armor class. I'm done. Done. No. I'm sorry. Just get a +1 to everything. On top of all the +1s you've been getting here and there. Nah. 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 I'm sorry if this has started off overall very negative. But, like, just the sheer amount of shit that you get. Like, yes, I understand it's a bit more limited because of the, like, you have infusion charges and arcane jolt charges or whatever the f they are. But, I don't know. I'm not a fan. I feel like this... yeah, exactly, Zim. Like... I don't like being negative in like this whole thing. Like I don't like being negative like this, but I do think this mod, like, it's Artificer in name alone. Everything else has just been like, don't get me wrong, if you like a power fantasy, if you like just going in and being like, I want to just be a bloody god, I want to be as strong as possible, I want to bring technology into my game and actually have it feel like it's powerful, then yeah, go ahead, this mod is for you. It is, but it just, when you look at Artificer in tabletop and you look at what it's capable of, you know, the flavor stuff, you know, the different infusions, it feels way more balanced. Like, this just feels, I don't think it's fun. I don't think it's for build making. I don't think it's fun, because you got to think now, right? If I was to have this be part of my building repertoire, right? In every single build, if I'm not taking like a 1 or 2 level dip into Artificer to get some of the infusions, I am just not making the strongest version of that build anymore. And again, just the whole way that this is like presented and Again, I've gone on about the AI art thing. I'm not into it. I'm afraid this is a no from me. Artificer will not be appearing on this channel if this is the mod that it's going to come from. It's way too game-breaking. In a way, yes. I'll have to look at Blood Rager when it comes to console. Especially when you think of how weak the Alchemist subclass is. Oh yeah, see you later, Mine. Yeah, I hope the classes get better. Well, the other two come highly recommended, so we will see. But you know what I might do, actually? If you give me 1 second. I'm going to go back to the main menu. Well, hello, Beta Gale. I do think that's an interesting design for Gale, but I like the one we got in the final game more. I'm going to do something else. Give me a second. No, I feel like if you want to play an Artificer in this game, just grab the Nexus Mod Manager version if you're on PC. It's a shame that this is all console players have to work with, but let me just go to Artificer for Homebrew. Unsubscribe. What I will check out instead is Arcane Vanguard. This is another thing that's available, and I looked at some of these things, and I was just like, yeah, like you're able to see them, like you can add, while not wearing armor, you add your dexterity and intelligence modifier to your armor class. That seems broken. Like, immediately I look at some of these things and I think, like, yeah, you get war magic, that's fine, doesn't matter to me. That's fine. Force an enemy within range to make a charisma saving throw or force them to trade places with you, like, that's all fine. You get, like, some cool stuff. Like, you get some, like, item effects built into it. But there does look like there's some things that do just look a bit broken. That's all. So I wasn't 100% sure, but we can have a look at it. Intelligence to armor class without armor doesn't seem that bad. Maybe. Oh, I guess, yeah, when you think about it, Monk is the same. Sorry, ignore me. I don't know why I thought that was kind of busted. There was something I saw here that made me think, eh. But let's have a look. We'll slap Arcane on there, because it's available to console, and we'll have a look at the rest. I think the only... yeah, because we're obviously going to look at Mystic, but we'll have a look at Arcane Vanguard at the end, if we've got the time. Nope, do not download that, please. Yeah, no, sorry. I forgot it didn't say the clothing part. Whoops. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know why I thought unarmored defense was broken. That's so stupid. Like, there were some things that I looked at with this mod that made me think, eh, but we'll see, we'll see. Yeah, no, ignore me. I'm an idiot today. I'll be honest, I've been awake for an hour and a half. My brain is not firing on all cylinders tonight. I will... Tonight? Oh, God. You see what I mean? To be fair, I was up till like nearly 2 AM last night. That was probably a bad idea as well. Yeah, let's load in. And hopefully uninstalling that crappy Artificer mod didn't break my save file that I use for videos, because that would suck. And it didn't. Good. Okay. Dirge, come back to me. What's wrong with your mouth? That's what's up for discussion. I like your smile, though. You can travel with me. What's wrong with your mouth? Give me that look, motherfucker. He just gave me, like, the... What kind of look was that? Anti-intelligence bias? Maybe. At least we got a comedic effect for it. You need hot bean juice? I've had a cup of coffee. And it doesn't do shit. Right. And it's also my first time streaming in a while, so perhaps my brain's not... Yeah. Dragon Ball facial animations moment. Alright, so... Okay, so Arcane Vanguard is here now. Great. Let's have a look at Mystic, because this is the other quote-unquote official one. And this is probably the one that's going to take the most amount of time to delve into. My only brief kind of encounter with Mystic was, if you remember, a very, very long time ago. Did I stream it or not? I'm pretty sure it was a stream, where I streamed, like, an honor mode playthrough, where I was, like, just, like, kind of in Act 1 testing a few modded classes and subclasses. I think I made Lazella Mystic in that one. Was that one a stream? Mystic Expansion is on as well? No, I didn't add Mystic Expansion. I just have the basic one. I don't know what Mystic Expansion adds. Right, so we got the Mystic. Let's have a look. So, yeah, I understand that these are like your kind of cantrips, your psionic talents. And you get a few interesting ones. There's Light. You didn't understand it at all. Mystic is I'm you, but better. Yeah, it probably is going to be a bit busted, but it might be fun for, like, when we do builds, like, what you call it, the absolute deity build. Like, there is a place for it, I think, for some builds. Especially since it comes from tabletop in, like, the proper way. But I'm probably not going to make it part of, like, oh yeah, I'm just going to take Mystic in it in, like, most builds, right? Yeah, I agree, Emperor. I kind of wish we did get, like, a psychic class, but, like, a scion or, like, something kind of more like this, because maybe that's the Call of Cthulhu player in me, I don't know. I do kind of wish we got something a bit more, but I'm happy that the subclasses still got in, like, Psy Warrior and Soul Knife and Aberrant Mind and all that. Kuatoa Mystic. Aberrant Mind Sork, yeah, that would be cool. I hope that gets added in with mods. But let's have a look at the cantrips. So, Light, basically. It's Beacon, but you get to choose the colour. There's Blade Meld. Your weapon becomes one with your hand, preventing you from being disarmed. That's kind of nice. That can be useful in some situations. Light Step. Alter your weight and density, increasing your movement speed by 3 meters and becoming immune to prone. For 1 turn as a bonus action. Okay. I like the idea of getting that additional movement speed, and if you're on, like, ice or something, the fact that you can't slip over is actually really cool. That feels nice. If you got the Cyanite Fighter, it would work so well for Lae'zel. Yes! I was hoping we'd get the Psy Warrior subclass so I could get the Lightsaber Weapon mod, the Psy Warrior class, and the Telekinetic Feat and just go full Jedi. Like, I was hoping for that. Blind Spot. Attempt to obscure a creature's vision, possibly reducing their sight to 3 meters. Okay, so it's like a way of shutting down ranged characters, and it's like a wisdom save? Okay, as a cantrip, I guess it costs an action though, so you're giving up like your attack to do that. So it's not actually that broken, I would say. I wouldn't even say that's broken normally. I actually do think that's fairly balanced as it is, surprisingly. Delusion. Plant a false belief in the targeted area, summoning a simulacrum that compel... Okay, so minor illusion. That's just minor illusion. Mind Meld. Fuse your mind with another creature's, reducing your stats by 1 and increasing theirs by the same amount. Concentration based as an action for 10 turns. That I'm interested into as to how that would be useful. Like, it seems like a really weird ability that could be fun, but I don't see how that's useful. Because 99% of the time, if a character is built correctly, they're going to have even scores anyway, so increasing their stat by 1 isn't actually going to change anything. Unless you were specifically going to make like a duo build that made use of this somehow, but then again, I don't know how you'd calculate it so that the stats would make sense to have as odds anyway? I don't know. That feels like something I would have to specifically come back and revisit to see if you can get anything out of that. Yeah, exactly. The fact that it's an increase of 1. Like, unless you had, like, a way of making the ability scores work so that the other person has, like, a 19, a 14, like, a 15, like, in just various stats, like, it doesn't make sense. I'll be honest, this feels like the true strike, where you look at it and you go, oh, okay, that's interesting, and then you think about it for more than a minute, and you're just like, oh, no, that's actually... what's the point, right? Useful for summons? Yeah, because summons do come with a lot of odd stats, but, like, do you summon as a mystic? I don't know. Well, let's find out. Moving on, Mind Slam. 1d6 of force damage and can knock a target prone with a con save. Okay. Seems alright. Mind Thrust. An intelligence save to deal 1d10 psychic damage. I'm guessing it takes half damage on a success. Doesn't say, or perhaps it just... maybe it just doesn't take any damage on a save. Huh, interesting. Mystic Charm, possibly... okay, a charming cantrip with a charisma save. Interesting. The fact that it targets charisma is actually quite nice. Maybe if you have a druid in the party? Yeah, maybe. Psychic Hammer. Push or pull a creature 3 meters and deal 1d6 force damage. Yeah, you know, and it's a strength save. You know, that's pretty cool. Energy Beam. Blast a creature with a chromatic beam of energy. Acid. Oh, and you get to choose the damage type. Oh, that's cool. Acid can corrode objects. Cold can freeze or douse surfaces and objects. Fire can ignite or melt surfaces. Lightning can electrify surfaces. Oh, and it creates all the surface effects. And thunder can clear surfaces and clouds. Ooh. Object is corroded, making it vulnerable to bludgeoning damage. Okay, that's a little bit strong. That is actually very strong on the right build if you've got a proper bludgeoning weapon. Okay, this is the first one where I'm going to say this is a bit powerful. It is fun, but that corroded effect, plus the ability to create pretty much any of the surfaces in like a single cantrip, is very strong. Does the +1 stat scale with level like most cantrips? Maybe it does, Ace. That's actually a good point. We'll come back to it. It's only objects, though, I believe. Okay. Energy Beam is pretty much Chromatic Orb. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but if you grab like a Mystic or like you say, like a Maul or something, or like a big bludgeoning weapon, that can be really cool. Okay. But I see we only get like simple weapons as a base. So maybe that changes with the subclass? I don't know, because that's the thing, we're not even at the subclasses yet. Mystic Hand. Mage Hand. Okay. Overall, I like these. I think they're all interesting, unique effects, some of which you don't really find anywhere else. Some of them are just copies of other spells or cantrips. Energy Beam being the only one where I'm like, this has the potential to be potentially broken. And if Mind Meld does scale, like Ace pointed out, I mean, it's also concentration. I mean, it could be potentially powerful, but again, it does feel like a True Strike situation where, you know, it just looks interesting the first time you look at it, but otherwise, yeah. So, I mean, I think in most of the time, if I'm going to play a Mystic, take in the Energy Beam. And then the rest is just to pick your favorite, for sure. So I'd say let's grab Energy Beam and let's grab Mind Meld for now to see if it does come up later. Now, this is where my brain starts to turn to mush. So I'm guessing the reason we have two of these already selected is because we have a subclass. What save does Energy Beam call for? A dex save. Ah, so that actually... Okay, yeah, that does take the potential down a little bit, because dex saves can be really hard to make later in the game. Okay. Gonna need to combine that with maybe some spell save DC boosting items, if these even count as spells? I mean, I guess like, this says they're cantrips, so I'm guessing it does. Yeah. So basically, it looks like our subclass will give us these psionic disciplines that each come with their own like skill set that you just grab the further up you level. Dex save is hard even in the early game. Yeah, that's why everyone gets mad at Shadowheart for missing Sacred Flame, is because dex saves. So yeah, okay, maybe Energy Beam isn't even that broken. Honestly, that whole cantrip selection seems pretty balanced, which I love. This is where it gets crazy. So yeah, I'm just going to double check. Does changing these... Holy shit, there's how many? Yeah, okay, so that does change. Okay, so let's look at the subclasses first before we go to the psionic disciplines. Order of the Avatar. Order of the Avatar focuses on manipulating emotion, rallying allies, and crippling foes. At level 3, you get Avatar of Battle. Project an inspiring aura, giving nearby allies a +1 to initiative. Can I just say, by the way, I love this. I love what we have here. That it's showing us what we get at later levels. I think at level 1. I think that's actually really good to have, and I think that's something that Larian should have implemented in the base game. Because unless you have access to the wiki, as you're leveling up your class or subclass, you actually have no way of knowing what you're going to be getting. Unless you are already familiar. If I remember correctly. I don't think there's a way to like look ahead. Like in multiple levels. Just get one fleet discipline, yeah. There's more of expansion? Interesting. Okay. So, Avatar Battle. You project an inspiring aura, giving allies +1 bonus to initiative. That's not broken. That's just a nice quality of life feature. At level 6, Avatar of Healing. Project a soothing aura, causing nearby allies to regain an additional 2 hit points from all sources of healing. Not broken at all. That feels quite nice. That is just that's the Ring of Salving. Now, here's the problem. At level 14... you get Avatar of Speed, which projects an aura of speed, allowing nearby allies to use a dash as a bonus action. That is perfectly fine. Not an issue with the actual ability itself. Problem is that it's level 14, so if you want to get the most out of the Mystic class, you need to have the level 20 mod. And in my opinion, I personally don't like going to level 20 in this game, because the game is designed around level 12. As soon as you get into those higher levels, everything's just going to feel easy, even on honor mode. Like, don't get me wrong, getting to that point is going to be a bit trickier, but once you're there... Like, I kind of wish this was pushed down to level 12 for people who don't have that mod installed, but it's whatever. It's not the end of the world. If you're remembering correct, right, the Wu gem was the really broken one in Unearthed Arcana? Okay. Well, we'll have a look. We'll go through them all quite quickly now anyway, so we can have a look at it. Right, let's see. Overall, Order of the Avatar, I like it. It's just some nice quality of life buffs. I know the way that Mystic is a bit different is the fact that most of your power comes from the disciplines that you choose, and Order of the Avatar is going to give us Crown of Disgust, cause a creature to become flooded with emotions of disgust, which I think is quite interesting. And look, all the icons are actually unique and look nice. Credits to the mod author. This is quite nice. So you're going to get Psychic Focus, Psychic Assault. Gain a +2 bonus to damage rolls with Psionic Talents. Okay, interesting. The Psionic Talents being the cantrips. So you get a little bit of extra damage on these, which, absolutely fine. We use items for that all the time. And the thing is these actually do cost a resource. And you can only have one focus up at a time. This one doesn't seem to cost a Psychic Focus charge, but you do have to use a bonus action, and if you want to use something else, you have to give this up. So that is not actually that broken. That is quite balanced. I'm going to use the word broken a lot today, because that's kind of synonymous with Mystic, but... You can check what you get on the Avatar disciplines? Oh, really? Where does it say that? Oh, and also the Order of the Avatar gives proficiency with medium armor and shields. Oh, yeah, they're over here. Good catch. Sorry about that. I didn't notice. Oh, I'm coughing a bunch already today. I'm having to suddenly mute my mic. It's winter time. We're getting close to Christmas, and I work in a school, so I'm getting sick a lot. A miracle I've lasted this long, actually. Right. Then you also get Psionic Blast. Spend a Psi point to blast a creature with Psionic energy, dealing 1d8 damage. You can spend additional Psi points to increase this action's potency, so it's basically like upcasting. Okay. Again, perfectly fine. Don't see a problem with that. I feel like the problem with the Artificer is that everything was stuffed into 12 levels. Yeah, and it was just kind of... I don't know. The way they moved everything around just made it way too powerful, in my opinion. At 3 Psi points, which I'm guessing you get more Psi points as you level, so you won't be able to use this stuff straight away. You get Ego Whip, which deals 3d8 psychic damage and can fill a creature with self-doubt, preventing it from taking actions other than disengage or hide. That's really interesting, and on an int save as well. See, a lot of these are already feeling quite unique. With the 5th level one, you get ID Insinuation, which we also get from Mistress Spells. Simulate a creature's impulses, preventing them from taking actions except for melee attacks. Okay, so you can prevent ranged attacks as well as spellcasting, but they're not locked out of melee attacks. And if they make the save, they still take half damage. I think this is really cool. Yeah, so you can't spend more than your side limit. Yeah, exactly, and then you get an increased side limit as you go up. So you're not going to be able to cast some of these things until you level up a bunch more. You also get Psychic Blast, dealing 8d8 psychic damage and unleashing a devastating psychic... You unleash devastating psychic energy in a cone. You spend additional side points to increase the potency. Okay. Now, I'm guessing without the level 20 mod, this is probably the highest we can go. I don't think we can go this high without the level 20 mod. The best way you can describe this class is as Caster Monk. Yeah. I'm getting that vibe a bit already. Damn, that's crazy, boss. I forget, yeah, because for you in Australia, it's like massively hot for you. Bloody hell, man. Jesus, dude. This one does a bunch of psychic damage and can stun any creatures. Ooh, that's kind of cool. Then we also get Psychic Focus, Crown of Disgust. Enemies within 3 meters are in difficult terrain unless they are immune to being frightened. That is such a unique effect. It doesn't inflict the frightened condition, but it does make the area around you difficult terrain unless they are frightened. So they actually are just kind of like weirded out by being near you. That's so interesting. That using an immunity to interact with something other than the actual condition itself. That is really cool. I like that. Eye of Horror, 1d6 psychic damage. Project an image of horror at a creature, reducing their movement speed by half. That's cool. I like that. It's also a charisma save, which I also like. I like that there's a lot of different saving throws going on around here. You want to play a Duck Kenku Mystic? So you get a headache. Holy Heckins a stream. Hi, Sparrow. Yes, it has been a while, but we're just kind of having a chill stream where I'm just chatting and looking at classes today. The expansion does give you a monk subclass for this. Oh, interesting. Okay, maybe I'll have a look at that, Dex. And we get Visions of Disgust. Warp a creature's mind, causing it to regard other beings as horrid. While afflicted, it takes 1d6 psychic damage at the end of its turn, and an additional 1d6 psychic damage if there is a creature within 3 meters. And it also does a burst of 5d6. Oh, wow. Again, and on a save, it still takes half damage, and it requires concentration. That is still a really fun spell. And again, that unique interaction of taking extra damage if it's next to its allies or enemies. Really cool. Yes, I know there's like 30 more disciplines, but this is why this is a stream and not a video. Because if I tried to condense this all into like a mod showcase video, it could be like 4 hours long. So that's why we're just doing it as a stream. And I probably won't go into like absolutely everything. I just want to get an idea of like what the whole thing is about. And just get a generalized idea so that if I can decide like, hey, if I want to use this for builds in the future, I can. Although I'm not seeing how well this is going to multi-class at the moment. So we'll see. And then you get World of Horror, Wreak Pandemonium, in up to 6 creatures, frightening them, while affected creatures can only use their actions to make melee attacks. Damn, that's a pretty cool feature. And then we get the Psychic Focus, and yeah, this is from the optional one that I think we took, isn't it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's from Psychic Assault, isn't it? Oh no, that's... Oh no, so Psychic Assault's the one we have selected. Oh god, this is where it gets interesting. Okay, so Mantle of Courage is the other mandatory one for this subclass. Imagine a build based on Scarecrow with this class. Oh, yeah, might do that. Mantle of Courage. Allies within 3 meters will have advantage against becoming frightened. Incite Courage. Bestow Courage up to 6 creatures, removing any frightened, charmed, fear, or sleep conditions. Project an aura that grants you and your allies 2 temporary hit points whenever an enemy is reduced to 0 hit points. You can spend additional side points to increase this action's potency. That's interesting. And Pillar of Confidence. Instill up to 6 creatures with a Surge of Confidence, granting them an extra action on their next turn, as long as you maintain the concentration and give up 6 side points. That's obviously like a high-level feature. That's pretty powerful, but at high level, I don't think that's so bad. Yeah. Okay, so the first one that we took, which was Psychic Assault, was the optional one. Okay, so it'll be the following ones that are the mandatory ones for the subclass. But that, I think, overall, you've got a good balance of features. They all make sense within Baldur's Gate 3. They just feel fun, and they all interact with the game. Like, a lot of them interact with the game in a way that we haven't actually seen yet. It's actually really cool. Hi, Archie. An alchemist, Dr. Jekyll would work right. It's close to a scientist. Yeah. No, I like this. Avatar Disciplines option. Oh, my God, what? Oh, I see. So you can change... You can change even the ones that are mandatory. Are you serious? Okay, so you get 2 from like your subclass list that you can change, and then you get a free one. Holy shit. Okay, so the main problem with this class is trying to figure out what the hell you want when there's like 150 different options. So, okay, is Mystic Expanded like pure homebrew? Yeah, it's too versatile. Yeah, this is the problem, right? Because if I was to sit down and try and make, like, a build video using this, it is going to take me all day just to theorycraft the fucking thing, because holy shit. Like, honestly, this is the only problem with the Mystic, right? And this is nothing to do with the mod itself, this is just the fundamentals of the class that it's based on. There is too much. There is too much. Part of the reason why D&D is so customizable is because within each class and subclass, like, yes, obviously there's a lot to do when you look at all of it, but when you have all of this in front of you at once, like, imagine somebody opening up BG3 for the first time. They want to try out like this like game based on D&D, which is something they've heard about and seems cool, but they've never been able to get into it because they don't have a group or whatever. And they boot up BG3 for the first time, and they're looking at all the vanilla stuff, and yes, there's a lot to pick from. You're not 100% sure what you want to go with, but each of it has a fairly unique identity, which is easy to understand, and you can kind of get an idea of what you're going to end up playing, even if you're not 100% sure, and everything else is fairly simple. And then imagine if Mystic was in the game day one. Like, it was just here. Like, this, as it's presented here, was in the game. The average person is going to look at this and fucking turn the thing off, because it's just so overwhelming. Even for me, who's been doing this for, like, a year and a half almost at this point. Like, it's so... Like, even I'm just looking at this, like... Even with, like, this stream, I was planning to stream for maybe 3 hours. We're already an hour in, and we're not even... And I know we were looking at the Artificer mod or whatever, but we're not even, like, past level 1 of Mystic. If I was to sit here and try and go through this all, it's going to take forever. It's also why it's so strong. It's able to do everything. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point, Carl. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Yeah, that's the problem I would have, is like actually playing this as well. There is so much. Like, I feel like if I'm going to release like a Mystic video, and this is the only thing. This is where like people like me kind of make sense to exist, if that makes sense. Because if you're looking at Mystic and you're like, I have absolutely no idea how to build with this, then that's where someone like me comes in and I'm like, hey, if you take this, this, and this each level, you've got a pretty solid build here that is thematic and works. So honestly, I could just make Mystic builds where it is just Mystic, but it's built in a particular way, right? Like, no multi-classing, just here's how to play a Mystic in a certain way. Like, I think this is... So, like, looking at all of this isn't me saying I don't want to use Mystic in my videos. What it's me saying is that I want to use Mystic exclusively when I make a video on it. Oh, you've done for... I gotta see this meme. Give me a sec. Let me see this meme. Okay, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. I can't show it on stream because it's gonna fuck with a bunch of stuff, but that is pretty good. If you guys go to the meme section of the Discord, you'll see it. But yeah, so... And the higher level abilities show up on level 1, which you're unable to use, which just kind of clutters the screen. Yeah, that's fine. But I will say that I actually... Okay, this is maybe because I just look at this game every day for hours. Like, I don't mind seeing the higher level abilities on the screen, because, again, it lets me know what I'm going to be getting if I level up, which is kind of something that I would have wanted Larian to do in the base game. Just be like, okay, this is what you get at level 1, this is what you get at level 5. Like, it just tells you ahead of time, so you know what you're getting yourself into. Yeah, Archie, we're going to look at Witch today as well, or at least I thought we were, but we might just be spending all day on Mystic. Ugh. Depends on how long this stream goes for. In which case, I might try and do another stream fairly soon, and we can kind of continue. But, yeah, no, bloody hell, look at this. Yeah, so, okay, let's try and get back on track a little bit here. So you've got these things here. Maybe I'm not going to read each individual thing, but I'm just going to get an idea of what we're up for. So... Crown of Despair. So, okay, so the subclass ones seem to have less things overall, where the one you actually get to pick seems to have a bit more going for it, unless it... Oh, no, okay, no, it just depends on the one that you pick. Okay, interesting. So let's go back to Order of the Avatar disciplines. So you get Crown of Despair, which I'm guessing, yeah, advantage on intimidation checks, prevents them from taking reactions. That's a cool one, bit of psychic damage there. Touch a creature and attempt to incapacitate it until it takes damage. That's interesting. Flood a creature with sorrowful visions, reducing their movement speed to 0, incapacitating it and reducing its movement speed to 0. Okay, so this one is all about like movement and battlefield control. That's kind of interesting. Then you got Crown of Disgust, which we've already discussed. Hey, Alvin! Yeah, I agree. Seeing what comes ahead so I can plan better? Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. Mystical Daystream? Maybe. But like, I can look at that, quickly look at the abilities here and think, yeah, I've got a build for this. Right, maybe I prepare it with the Mantle of Fear, so it's like Fear and Despair, which also gets you advantage on intimidation checks, which is a little bit of an overlap, but you can also frighten creatures, you can, you know, reduce their movement speed in other ways, like stuff like that. You get like some interesting stuff, but then you have to see what overlaps, right? You can also confuse creatures with Mantle of Fear. Or maybe it's like Despair and Rage. So like you're able to just send people into like a depressive frenzy. You graduated! Holy shit, Alvin! Good for you, mate! God, that's a huge bit of your life, like, behind you now, being able to finish your thesis. Wow. What was your thesis on, by the way? I don't think, if you've mentioned it before, I apologize, but... Oh my god, that's actually awesome. Congratulations to you, mate. That's an impressive accomplishment. Well done. So Twitter. And then we go down, I look down, so it's like, so Twitter, yeah. Yeah, but then you can, like, melee attacks against you have disadvantage. Assault a creature with a surge of rage, causing them to immediately lose concentration, so you can kind of make your opponent Barbarian Rage. That's awesome. Hello, Senate. That is true. If you're playing this on console, you'd have a lot of the menuing to do. That is true. Fighting words, drive a creature into a frenzy, giving it an advantage on attack rolls, but it can't concentrate on spells, and enemies have advantage on attack rolls against it. You literally inflict reckless attack. You're forcing your opponent to be a barbarian. This is cool. Mindless courage, provoke a creature, forcing it to move towards you on its turn and do nothing else. And punishing fury, escalate a creature's rage, making it attack recklessly. Whenever the creature makes a melee attack, nearby creatures can use their reaction to make a melee attack against them. Ooh, that's cool. You did veterinary medicine. Your thesis was on the prevalence of a few tick-borne diseases in Ghana. Interesting. Veterinary medicine. Oh, so you're planning on being like a proper vet then? That's honestly amazing. I have a soft spot for animals. I've grown up with dogs and cats all my life, and like we did the charity event for the Blue Cross this year as well. So, nah, honestly, massive respect to you, Alvin. Congratulations on that amazing accomplishment. All skill. Well done. Keep up the amazing work, and I hope you find success in the field. You are a proper vet now. Amazing. Like I say, I hope you find success in your field, because that is amazing, and you absolutely deserve it. You grew up on a farm? Yeah. I mean, I live in the UK. I've grown up around farmland, and I've had friends and family who have owned farms as well. I mean, the horses used to scare the shit out of me when I was a kid, because they were so huge. They had like proper Shire horses, which were massive. Maybe next stream you'll change your name to Dr. Alvin. Hey, you earned that doctorate, mate. Freaking own it. But no, I love Crown of Rage. I'm sorry, back on track. Amazing stuff, Alvin, but I'm going to get back on track. I was going to be here all day. Crown of Rage, basically forcing your opponent to be a barbarian, is so interesting. I love that. Mantle of Command. So, gain the ability to cast Commander's Imperative once per turn. What is that? Mobilize an ally, increasing their movement speed by 3 meters. Interesting. Okay. Yes, back to the Raging Mystic. Oh, this is a nostalgia piece of music right here. I love Spirit tracks when I was a kid. Right. Signal to 5 allies to move as a unit, increasing their movement speed. Okay, so this is like the ally commanding subclass. You get to increase their movement speed in a few different ways. Reveal a creature's weakness, giving advantage to attack rolls against it. Ooh, hold up. Hang on. Direct an ally to strike a foe, and they can make an additional weapon attack on their next turn. Strategic Mind. Exert an aura of trust and command, uniting your allies to move as a cohesive unit. Nearby allies can dash or disengage as a bonus action. That's cool. Or add 1d4 to each damage roll during their turn. Okay, that is a high-level feature, so that's actually not too powerful, but that is still really cool. Wait, do these abilities work while raging? They're considered spells if you look over here on the right side, so I'm going to say no. But if they do, being a barbarian that forces other people into, like, combat with you as a barbarian could be very interesting. I'm actually tempted to try that out later. Directs up to 5 allies to strike a foe. They can make an additional weapon attack on their next turn. Okay, that's pretty strong. Someone check, please. I can check. Hold up. Crown of Rage. And we're going to bring Crown of Rage and Crown of Command. Alright, so obviously you want intelligence casting. Bar fight subclass? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Fighting words, and then if we... gotta keep moving the chat box around. Level up, we go multi-class into Barbarian. Just get a 1-level dip. I I mean, I'm gonna die as soon as I pick a fight with anything here, but we'll see. Well, you've really got to test the rage, right? Mystic sounds like an ill rigor on steroids. I've heard of that term before, but what exactly is it? Is it like a 3.5 E class or something? Not 100% sure. You know what we could do? We can just get the dancer in there to just kind of take the start the combat off for us and go from there. Like, she'll take all the hits. Like, you're gonna sit back here for a bit, buddy, while the dancer goes in for us. Oh, Rigger is a new class. Oh, okay. It's the new class on D&D Beyond. Oh, I don't use D&D Beyond, so I wouldn't know. Right, one very quick second. Alley-oop. Basically, a hex is interesting. Okay. Now we go to you. You move in a little bit. Get involved in this. Okay, in theory, they should not get attacked before thingy. And then we could just test. I'm just going to hit you with another Divine Smite, because why not? Yeah, okay, fair enough. No, that's not you, Sanctuary. So actually... No, where are you going, mister? Oh, you motherfucker. And I forgot to save as well, I just realised, so we don't have a... we're going to have to go back. Oh, that's a bugger, isn't it? Okay, we might have to test this later once we actually have a fully leveled up Mystic to use. Whoops. Yeah, subclasses are basically other classes in disguise, and perhaps that was the problem with Mystic. I think that was the problem with Mystic overall, is that it just did everything that the other classes did, but maybe in some cases better. Ulrigger is supposed to be very extremely powerful and very versatile. He recognized Dirge and got scared. I had an interesting idea for a duo build, actually. Maybe to celebrate some sort of special milestone if it ever comes up. But I want to do a duo build that is basically meant to be like Canon Tav and Canon Dirge working together. Like if somehow the Dark Urge and Tav both survived what happened on the Nautiloid, because usually one of them dies, and it goes into the whole thing where like Tav was a detective looking into them, but then Tav realizes that Dark Urge has lost their memory and then tries to use that to their advantage to actually turn them into a good person and a powerful ally to stop the Absolute. Something like that, right? I think that could be really fun. Ulrigger is a paladin trying to be a warlock. Didn't the Dark Urge kill Tav? Yeah, exactly. That well, in the original, yeah, that's what happens. Basically, if you play Dark Urge, Tav is a detective investigating the murders inflicted by the Dark Urge, and they get a threatening message from Scleritus Fell saying, like, it's my master, and if you don't kill them, they're going to kill you, and then Dark Urge kills them, but then obviously the stuff with Orin happens after. But obviously, if you choose to play Tav, the Dark Urge is killed by Orin flat out. But I wanted to create maybe this like what-if scenario, and I know some people have explored that before. I know there's like a comic series that somebody was drawing up that was really interesting and used this concept. But I thought as a duo build, having the two kind of like what I consider like to be the canon versions of the characters teaming up, and I think it creates an interesting narrative, because you can either use the Hireling customization or like multiplayer to have both in the same playthrough even without mods. So I think it would be possible. Like, basically, what if the Dirge was a companion? Yes, exactly. Because when I actually did a multiplayer playthrough with my buddy Dawson, Private Noodles, who you've seen on the channel before, where I played Dark Urge and he played regular Tav, and it was actually a really interesting playthrough to have access to both dialogue options. So yeah, I don't know. I think it can work. Anyways, back to the original thing, which was Mystic. You've been using split screen to do it? Yeah, exactly. Hi, Alice. Good to have you here. I think that's the one. Yeah, Alice. I think that's the one. Although, again, for me, in my personal opinion, Tav is canonically a bard. Hi, Nick. Elric of Melnibone? I'm not familiar. Yeah, I know what you mean, Ilya. That's obviously what it is. Like, Tav is short for Gustav, which was one of the developers' dogs. But the idea, I like the idea of Tav being their own character, and the community seems to as well. And Tav does have, like, a backstory. It's just not very much explored, because they're meant to be a mostly black slate. But, like, the idea of playing, like, a bard detective who sees their, like, quarry, in quotations, being, like, in this state where they can be molded to be better, and then having it be like the Dark Urge redemption story alongside Tav, the detective, being the leader and face of the party as a bard. And then you can have like the sorcerer character as well. Maybe you can do like one of my dirge builds where like you go maybe paladin or rogue, like the Bloody Storm or the Storm of Redemption, and it could be really cool. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, exactly, Eclipse. Like, this is where the research and, like, the kind of ideology comes in, where, like, that's why it would be a fun build to make, because, like, how do you make it? Shadow Monk Lawbard? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Bardadin, yeah. Tav can throw hands, basically? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're going to go back to what we had before. Right. So I'm seeing a lot of cool things here. Crown of Rage immediately interests me. We did look, yeah, we looked at Crown of Courage. Mantle of Courage, even. What's Mantle of Fury? You and your allies to start their turn within 3 meters of you, gain 3 meters of movement speed for 1 turn. Evoke Fury in up to 3 allies, granting them 1d4 to melee attack rolls, concentration based. Yeah, that's the thing. This is where Barbarian doesn't work in some cases, because you've got concentration based, which of course, no matter what it is, if it's concentration, Barbarian can't maintain it when you rage. Yeah, Drunken Master Monk could work well for Karlach, yeah. Mindless Charge. Rouse up to 3 creatures, increasing their movement speed by 9 meters, but giving them disadvantage on strength, dexterity, and constitution saving throws. Aura of Bloodletting. Unleash an Aura of Fury, giving all nearby creatures advantage on melee attack rolls. That's all nearby creatures. An Overwhelming Fury. Flood a creature with Fury, preventing them from taking any actions other than melee attacks. So I'm immediately seeing Crown of Rage, Mantle of mixed with Mantle of Fury. Why can't I select these properly? This is being weird. This is being weird. Stop being weird. There you go. Mixing these two, making your allies and your enemies barbarians for a complete bloodbath. Like, holy shit, that is an amazing combo right there. That is a build in and of itself. And I'm sure there's another psionic discipline that could go well with that. Like, what's this? Telepathic subjugation? Like, maybe that could be interesting. Or, like, iron durability, mantle of awe, maybe? Like, they're in awe of you? Yeah, exactly. Like, that's a good point, boss. Like, they can, like, influence each other. Wait, what? Transform your body, gaining things of beasts? Oh my god, they get wild shape. Jesus. I rage, you rage, you rage, we all rage. Exactly. Then there's like the brute force one where you can go for like advantage on athletics checks. Muster up your strength, giving you a 1d8 increased damage on your next melee attack this turn as a bonus action. That's kind of cool. That's almost like Hunter's Mark, but you don't have to maintain concentration, you just have to keep recasting it. Knockback, blast your target with immense strength, knocking them back. Yeah, so basically Brutal Force, Crown of Rage, and Mantle of Fury to just be this, like, warlord that incites bloody violence on the battlefield in all who stand in his way, allies and enemies alike. That seems amazing. Like, that seems like a fun, interesting build already. In fact, I'm actually going to write that down somewhere because I'm going to make that as one of my first Mystic builds, I think. Because that sounds cool as I had paper. I'll leave my notebook at work again. I did, didn't I? Son of a bitch. Oh, hang on. Notebook number 2 is up here. We can use that. Notebook number 2. God, this is my old notebook as well. at writing this down. Oh, that's right, on a different page. Warlord Mystic. With Rage, Fury, and what was the other one? It was Brute Force. I'll be interested to see how equipment interacts with Mystic as well. That's another thing I didn't even consider. Right. Keep the bookmark on that page. And we'll keep going from there. Hell yeah! Arcane Vanguard is a really fun subclass. Oh, a fun class. Yeah, yeah, we're going to have a look at that soon as well. How does Wild Shape work with Psychics? I believe I'm a bear, so now I'm Halcyon. Aura Master build? Well, there's new equipment as well, as per the meme says. Right, of course, yeah, so we'll have to look at that. But I see that as a build already being super fun. And then you got the Order of the Avatar, which, with the subclass abilities, giving nearby allies +1 to initiative and letting them heal more, that kind of fits the thing anyway. But I'm going to have a look at all of the subclasses now. And we'll go back to the disciplines in a moment. Order of the Awakened. Order of the Awakened seeks to transcend their physical form, unlocking the full potential of the mind. Interesting. Psionic Investigation. Gain advantage on investigation, insight, and history checks. I mean, that's not, I would say, the greatest ability in the world, but it definitely can come up. I mean, I'm hoping you can use that as a reaction when you're actually making the dice roll. That would make it alright. And this is the first subclass? Yeah, all of that was subclass 1. Detect smokeweed. Yeah. Psionic Surge. Impose disadvantage on a creature's saving throw, usable once per short or long rest. Okay, that's a weird bit of text on the end there, so I'll get once per short rest, sure. Imposing, or maybe perhaps it becomes once per long rest, once per short rest later, a bit like Bardic Inspiration. Who knows? But imposing disadvantage on a saving throw, again, if that's like a reaction ability, that's really interesting. And Spectral Form. Take on the form of a ghostly spectre, becoming immune to damage until your next turn. Well, in this form, your movement speed is halved, and you cannot take any reactions. Okay, so Armor Lock from Halo, basically. Okay, that's cool. As a basic subclass, that's alright. And you get, okay, and this is where you get the kind of the more like traditional psychic-themed abilities. You get Aura Sight, gaining advantage on insight checks, disadvantage on saving throws, advantage on intelligence and charisma checks against it. Perceive the unseen, grant yourself a nearby ally superior sight, gaining +10 bonus to perception survival, and then Intellect Fortress. Gain resistance to psychic damage. Okay, that's a pretty interesting one. Yeah, so you get a few interesting ones. Precognition looks interesting. Okay, so Order of the Awakened. I mean, Order of the Avatar and Order of the Awakened, they seem, as subclasses on their own, they don't seem too broken. They seem pretty nice. Dude, this Mystic is some good stuff. Yeah, I'm already seeing the massive amount of interesting builds that can come from this. 100%. And again, I think Mystic build guides are going to be very valued because there's so many options. It's nice to have that condensed into a solid build. Order of the Immortal. Okay. Immortal Mystics use psionic energy to augment their physical forms, turning themselves into living weapons. Oh, I like the sound of that, almost giving like prototype vibes. Psionic Resilience. At the start of each of your turns, gain temporary hit points equal to your intelligence modifier. That's nice. That is very, very nice. Surge of Health. When you're about to be hit, half the incoming damage, usable once per short rest. That I also like. It's like a tank. It's like absorb elements in a way. Once you get used to your hotbars being jam-packed with spells, Mystic isn't that difficult. Yeah, well, I think for a lot of people, you just take the stuff off that you're not using actively and just keep the stuff that you are. But Immortal Will. When you are reduced to 0 hit points, you can automatically spend 5 psi points to regain 0 hit points. Oh, okay, this amount is equal to your Mystic level plus your con mod. Okay. That's really cool. It's just a get up again ability. It's not overpowered in this game at all. Another surprisingly balanced subclass. Looking here, oh, and okay, so this way you can select. Okay, so Brute Force is locked in. Oh no, that's from the other one, sorry. So you can choose Bestial Form, Adaptive Body, Celerity, which is what? Oh, it's like increased movement speed. Okay, this is the one that makes you like more dexterous. You also get action surge, which is interesting. Deliver acid or poison attacks. Psionic restoration. Psionic weapon. Oh, this is the one where you get to like summon weapons. T1000 build. Yeah. No, this one's cool. I like this one. Iron durability. So like you can become like the tanking class. You get like a slightly lesser version of shield there. You gain like barbarian rage with steel hide. And then yeah, you just get that permanently with 7. That's interesting. Okay. Action that you can use for a bonus action for 5 side points. Wait, where does it say that? Which you have a lot on later levels. Okay, interesting. Yeah, no, I see this already coming with some cool stuff. Couple enemy knocking them prone. If you're about to be hit by an attack, you can cause it to miss and you gain the effects of... Excuse me? When you're about to be hit by an attack, you can spend a reaction of 5 side points to cause the attack to miss automatically so you just don't get hit, and then gain the effects of disengage. Okay, that's the first one I've seen that I would say is immediately broken, but I'm guessing 5 side points might be quite a lot. I see, action surge. Yeah. Microscopic form. Reduce your size significantly, becoming much harder to see and hit, but negating weapon damage. Okay, interesting. So you can't do damage, but you become hard to... Okay. Yeah, no, there's a lot of cool stuff there as well, I would say. So that's like if you want to build like your melee fighter, that's how you do that. Right, Order of the Nomad. Nomads are on a never-ending quest to unravel the mysteries of the multiverse, adapting their psionics to ease their travels. Okay, interesting. Let's see. Memory of 1,000 steps. Force an attack to miss... Okay. I just said how powerful that was as a late-game ability, and now we just get that at level 3. Force an attack to miss you. Until your next turn, you can use Memory of 1,000 steps, usable once per short rest. Teleport up to 9 meters. Okay, so that is the psionic discipline that we just saw, but slightly better at level 3? What? You get like 71 psionic points? Oh shit. Okay, never mind. 5 is not a lot. Okay, that's where the power comes from, is that you get a lot of resources. Superior teleportation increases the teleportation range of psionic disciplines by 3 meters. That's fine. An effortless journey. Teleport up to 9 meters using your movement speed. That seems way worse than the previous 2. This just seems broken. Like, anything that lets you just say to the dice, no, the dice don't matter, that is a problem. And the fact that that's the first ability you get, yes, once per short rest, so maybe it's not that impactful when, like, enemies have, like, multi-attack in the late game or something. But it's hard to know how to feel about that one. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how to feel about that one. That's my initial glance seems like, okay, that's pretty strong. But maybe again, with enemies having extra attack or multi-attack or whatever, maybe it's really not just saying no to one attack once per short rest. But then again, I think the later game ability does make that more useful if you do get that amount of psionic points. Maybe. And for the disciplines... Okay, you get way less disciplines for this one, actually. Maybe that's part of the balancing, is that you get less options, but the options that you get are slightly more powerful. Who knows? You imbue a ranged weapon with a strange semblance of sentience, allowing it to unerringly find its mark. Oh, that's cool. Ranged weapon attacks will ignore advantage and disadvantage. Oh, that's cool. Speed Dart. Imbue your ranged weapon with psionic energy. The next attack you make with it will deal an additional 1d10 psychic damage, and you can spend additional side points to increase this action's potency. Okay. That with Sharpshooter is already one of the strongest builds in the game. Holy shit. Wait till you see the class stuff that lets you pick from over 5 sets of spells. Ooh, okay. Seeking Missile. When you miss with a ranged weapon attack, you can repeat the attack roll against the same target. Oh. Okay, yeah, this is the one with Sharpshooter. This is the one with Sharpshooter. Don't worry, the expansion gives more disciplines. I don't think I need the expansion, mate. I'll be real with you. I don't think I need it. I think this is enough already. A Faithful Archer. God, I like that icon. Imbue your ranged weapon with a limited sentience, allowing you to perform an extra ranged attack for 3 each turn for 10 turns, as long as you maintain concentration. for 5 psi points as a bonus action. Yeah, okay. All you have to do is take Nomadic Arrow, just slap Sharpshooter on it, and you are golden. Okay. That's insane. Like, this almost entirely offsets the pen, like, because that's basically rolling with advantage, right? Holy shit. That's rolling with advantage, and that's attacking twice. And then the Manic Step, which is just teleporting. An increased movement speed. Defensive Step. When you're about to be hit by an attack, you can increase your armor class by 4. So shield, but slightly worse. Possibly causing the attack to miss, as well as gaining the effects of disengage. Okay, so you trade the point of armor class for the ability to move without provoking opportunity. That's actually fine. But I feel like the side point cost is a bit low. We found the Rogue. Yeah, this feels like Rogue. A little bit. Hell, mix this with Rogue and get sneak attack damage on top of that. I mean, bloody hell, you're off to the races. Although it doesn't actually count as advantage, so, yeah. I think that's actually important wording. It's the fact that you repeat the attack roll. It's not that you get advantage. That's a big thing. So that means it actually doesn't synergize with sneak attack. But still. There and back again. Teleport up to 6 meters until the end of your turn. Your movement speed increases by 6 meters, and you can cast back again. Which, what, puts you back to the same spot you started at? Oh no, it's just another teleport. Okay. So you just teleport, move, teleport again. That's kind of cool. Transposition, swap places with an ally. Yep, that's the same thing as the Conjuration Wizard feature. Attempt to swap positions with an enemy. That one I like. I always like shenanigans with enemy movement like that. Phantom Caravan. Reach out to the planes and shift the location of surrounding allies. Until the end of your turn, you may cast Phantom Journey at will. Phantom Journey? Teleport an ally to an unoccupied space. Okay, so kind of like Dimension Door. That's kind of cool. And then you gain Arcane Gate. Okay. If you go down to the Psionic Discipline, scroll down, anything that has Mastery of in it will give you a new set of spells that all do different damage. Oh my god, really? Third Eye, which seems to give you... You know, you can't be surprised, you gain Dark Vision, advantage on Wisdom checks, see invisible creatures, and just straight up True Sight. Yeah, okay. And then Nomadic Chameleon. Advantage on Stealth, blend in with your surroundings. So, this is the Stealth one. Yeah, this is the Stealth one, it just turns invisible. Okay, another cool subclass. Some of the abilities there, especially the Nomadic Archer, make me think, oh shit, this is where it gets stupid. But I still haven't seen anything that has immediately made me go, okay, yeah, I never ever want to use that. Because to me, the Sharpshooter build is still a cool idea. And I've built Sharpshooters before that, and yes, they're always going to be strong. This just makes that even stronger. Which, again, if you want to go for that, is fine. But the fact that there's so many options that you just can play around so much, it doesn't mean you're going to go for that every time. Like, for example, if you're playing a fighter, most people are always going to go for, like, Great Weapon Master or Sharpshooter, right? But with Mystic, I think it works pretty well. Right, Order of the Soul Knife. Let's have a look at this one. Soul Knife manifests Mystics manifest weapons of pure psychic energy that they can use to cleave through foes. Hone the blade. Spend key points to augment your soul knives. That is very nondescript. Consumptive Knife. Restore 2 psi points after reducing an enemy to 0 hit points with a soul knife attack. That's nice, a little bit of resource recovery for using the weapons that the subclass is based around. I like that. Phantom Knife. Perform a melee weapon attack against a creature which cannot be avoided. Okay, so I'm going to guess that's like a once per short rest attack and it's just a guaranteed chance to hit. And then you get actions. Soul Knife. Summon a pair of soul knives in your hands. They are light finesse daggers that deal 1d8 psychic damage. Soul knives scale with intelligence instead of dex or strength. Your soul knives can take the appearance of a variety of weapons. That's nice. I like that little feature. And you gain armor proficiency with medium armor and weapon proficiency with martial weapons. Cool, so this is the melee fighter. Although I have just noticed, we only get 1 psionic discipline with this one. Yeah, exactly, Dex. I just noticed that. Mastery of Air, Fire, Force, Gravity, Light, and Darkness, Metal 2 is... Okay, Metal is 2 OP. Nature, Stars, Time, Water, Weather. These are all things that give you 5 or more spells each. That's kind of cool. Okay. But this one doesn't give you extra disciplines, which I think is interesting. You have to pick one. Mastery of fire. Ooh. Ooh, just basically big fire attacks. This is cool. What's Mastery of Metal? Where's that one? I'm not seeing Mastery of Metal here. See Mastery of Force. Yeah, Avatar. Push, Inertial Armor, Telekinetic Barrier, Grasp, and Move. Okay. Yeah, if you want to, post it in the Discord, or post it in our DMs even, Dex. Medals from the expansion. Yeah, we don't have the expansion mod on here. Because again, I feel like I don't really want to use the expansion if it's more homebrewy, where if this one's more faithful to like what the actual Enough Arcana was. Mastery of Metal is 2 OP because it's one of its low-level spells that lets you magically sharpen a melee weapon and then lets it weapons crit automatically. Yeah, no, okay, don't send me the expansion, actually. That is already too powerful. If Mastery of Metal doesn't give us a guitar, I'll be sad. Okay. So yeah, for this one you do get your free Psionic Discipline pick, but you are stuck with just that one discipline. Okay. But I'm guessing that's going to come with the massive offensive power, and maybe it gets some extra buffs here and there. Fair enough. Then Order of the Wu Gen. Wu Gen control the forces of the natural world, using their minds to manipulate the 4 elements. Okay, so this is Avatar. The Last Airbender. Elemental Attunement. Choose an element type and ignore creatures' resistance to it when dealing damage. Okay, so yeah, just fuck for Draconic Bloodline 2 Ways to Sunday at level 3. Just say, yeah, that whole subclass, you know, yeah, we get Elemental Adept too. Yeah, goodbye. That's funny. That is very, very funny. Well, Toph was OP. Toph was OP. She was also a great character. Arcane Dabbler. Your skill in manipulating the elements allows you to control the weave. You learn 3 wizard spells and can spend psi points to gain spell slots. These spell slots are lost after you long rest. Wait. So now we're taking our unique resource system to make the old resource system to cast spells from another class that uses the old system, but we're going to fuel it using the new system. Okay. Yes. And then Elemental Mastery. Become immune to... Anything that gives you immunity is immediate, like... Become immune to incoming damage until the end of your next turn if you are resistant to it. Okay, that's actually not bad. That is like a sudden surge of like extra defense. That's actually pretty good. I like that. Becoming immune to incoming damage just until the end of your next turn if you're already resistant to it. So you get to choose that thing that you want to be resistant to and just go boom. Of course, mixing that with 3 levels of Wild Heart Barbarian. I can see where that is just completely busted because you're immortal. But at 14th level, for a game that usually scales to 12, I don't know, the fact that it's optional, because you need another mod to even get there anyway. If you're installing the level 20 mod, you don't care how powerful you are. So I think Order of the Wu Gen in this game is completely fine. I actually think, yes, that is broken. But it's a good type of broken. Wu Gen disciplines. Ah, yeah, this is where you get all the masteries. Let's actually have a read of these. Mastery of Force. We kind of had a look at this one already. 1d8 force damage, pushing a creature. Encase yourself in a veil of pure kinetic energy, increasing your... Oh, mage armor. Cool. Manifest a wall of pressurized force. Creatures within it will be difficult terrain. Okay, that's good. Grasp. Grasp a creature with telekinetic energy, holding them in place. While concentrating on this, you can cast Crush. Crush the creature in grasp. Okay, so kind of like Bigby's hand then. And then move. That's... Ah, yes. I am a master of the psychic arts. I have trained my body, mind, and soul for eons to cast this ultimate ability that shall destroy you. Move. Look, I couldn't come up with a better name for it, alright? 5d6 force damage, telekinetically grab a creature, dealing damage to them and possibly other creatures that they land on. Okay, so it's telekinesis, which... Oh my god. Move, bitch! Yeet! And then just throws them. The only thing you would fear is psychic damage. Good thing the plot isn't about mind flayers or something crazy like that. True! Give Yankee with the armor or the sword. Anyways, Not their fault this place was taken. Fair enough. Mastery of Air. Gain immunity to falling damage and difficult terrain. Honestly, yeah, falling damage does not come up as often as you would think. And difficult terrain, yeah, I don't care. That one's fine. That one's okay. I think that it's strong, but it's not, like, broken. Own a target's weapon causing their next attack to be a critical hit cannot miss. It only costs 3 cyber. Damn, Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, I'm not using the metal one. By the moon and stars, I would kindly ask you to move. Let's see. Wind Step. Fly up to 6 meters in a gust of wind. That's cool. Wind Storm. Release a wind blast that knocks targets prone. Okay, and all of these can be upcast, basically. I think the reason you get so many psionic points is because in the late game, you're basically going to need to upcast all of these, so maybe the resource management actually isn't too bad with this one. Again, I'm finding this extremely interesting. Now that I have a better idea of how Mystic works, I really want to try building with it. The Bean Wizard. What about? Cloak of Air. Seize control of the air around, creating a protective veil. Attack rolls against you will have disadvantage, and when a melee attack misses you, you deal 2 to 12 slashing damage to the attacker until your next long rest requires concentration. That seems very strong, and I think the fact that it's concentration helps with that. Basically spending your concentration, which obviously is a big resource anyway, to just give yourself disadvantage on attacks against you, and retaliate with a little bit of damage, like that can be strong. But again, I think for the fact that it requires a concentration, it's not huge. Wait, do you get like 70 points at 12 or 20? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure, Dex. I don't think I will, because I think that one's a little bit more homebrewy, and the stuff I've seen already makes it seem too strong. I like this more. Just having the base version. Wind Form. Manipulate the winds around you, gaining the ability to fly. Until your next long rest, and it requires a concentration. It's kind of lame, I'm not going to lie. Especially, like, I feel like if you're going to play a Mystic, you're going to take the Tadpole powers as well, so you just get Flight anyway. I don't know, that one's kind of meh. Misty Form. Transform yourself into a tiny gas cloud. It can't fall, it can fit through small openings. Okay, so Cloudy Form, Misty Form, whatever it's called. Yeah, no, we already have that as a spell, that's fine. And then summon an air elemental. Okay, so all of these get the ability to summon their corresponding elemental at the end. That's cool. Mastery of Fire. Gain resistance to fire damage and +2 to and a +2 bonus to damage rolls. Is that all damage rolls? Or is that just fire damage rolls? Need to specify there. Ice is really good and metal is the only OP discipline. Would that work with the slasher feat? Oh, maybe. I don't know. Mastery of Time is really fun to mess around with. Okay. Again, I'm really looking forward to exploring this. Combustion. Cause a target to spontaneously combust into flames, setting it aflame for 10 turns, so it inflicts burning. Yeah, it just inflicts burning. It does 1d10 fire damage. That's pretty cool. Rolling Flame. Summon a patch of flames, dealing 5 fire damage to creatures when placed and when they end their turn inside. Okay. So it's a bit like Hunger of Hadar in a way, but it's fire damage. Interesting. Detonation. Create a fire explosion, causing creatures inside to be knocked prone. Okay, so that's just Fireball, but better? 76 fire damage? That's how it's written in UA as well, so I have to assume it's all damage. Ooh, okay. That's a little bit, for like the early level feature, that's very strong. Resistance and a +2 bonus to all of your damage. That is actually, like, too strong. I would say just give the resistance and ditch the +2. I don't know why that's there. Mastery of Time is an expansion one. Oh, okay. Fair enough. But again, we'll see. Fire Form. Wreath yourself in flames, dealing 3 to 18 fire damage to creatures that end their turn within 3 meters of you. That one seems a little bit underwhelming, especially considering it's concentration-based. And then obviously, summon the fire elemental. Okay. Wugen itself seems quite strong from the base abilities, but the disciplines, I will say, haven't been incredibly strong so far. Let's have a look at Ice. Gain resistance to cold damage and become unable to fall prone on ice surfaces. See, that's what this should be. Instead of the +2 to damage rolls here, this should just be like you are immune to being burned or something. And you can only have one focus always active. That's also true. I like the image of being a mystic and yelling, "I explode you with my mind!" Yeah. The fact that we are still on level 1 is funny. Yeah, but the fact that it's letting us look ahead, like we're effectively looking at all the high level stuff already, right? I'll do a quick level up in a minute and we can see how the level progression goes. Ice Spike. Hurl a sharp chunk of ice, reducing the target's movement speed. Okay. Condense and freeze the air in the area, creating an ice surface. That's cool. Dex save to stop falling prone. Frozen Sanctuary. Sheep yourself in icy resilience, gaining 20 temporary hit points. Oh, it's like Armor of Agathis. Frozen Rain. 66 cold damage, creating an area filled with deathly cold and saturated moisture, reducing the movement speed of creatures within to 0. Each turn, the effective creature must make a strength save to attempt to free themselves. Ooh, that's cool. That actually feels on theme for, like, an ice thing, just saying, no, you're frozen, you can't move, but they can break out of it. No, I like that one. An ice barrier. 10d6 cold damage plus an additional 10d6 cold damage. Additional. Raise a wall of solid ice that deals 10 to 60 cold damage to anyone standing in its way. When the ice is broken, it leaves behind a cloud of frigid air that deals the same amount of damage per turn to creatures within. Concentration based. That's pretty cool for a high level ability. Interesting. Okay. Mastery of Light and Darkness. See, this one sounds cool as shit. Gain immunity to magical and non-magical darkness. Great. Devil's Sight. Nothing wrong with that. Darkness. Summon a cloud of darkness. Okay, so you get darkness and Devil's Sight in one. Huh. But it is a smaller version of darkness that I guess you have to upcast to make it bigger. Okay. Light. Illuminate a creature, causing it to shed a bright light. Attacks against it will have advantage, and it won't be able to hide. Oh, interesting, like, little light debuff. I like that. Shadow Beasts. Summon a pair of Shadow Beasts to fight at your side, and they are able to see invisible creatures. Requires concentration. That's a kind of a cool ability, actually. And then finally, Radiant Beam. So, Sunbeam, or as I like to call it, the Kamehameha. 66 radiant damage. Fire a beam of light, blinding the target. Concentration for 10 turns. Yeah, it's literally just Sunbeam. Okay, that is probably the most underwhelming one so far. That is very... This is just shit we already do in the game, basically. The Shadow Beast thing being maybe the most unique one. Mastery of Time lets you cast a version of Haste for a few side points. Okay, interesting. Mastery of Water. This is the one that came highly recommended. Let's have a look at it. Gain resistance to fire damage and become able to traverse water-based surfaces unimpeded. Okay, yeah, that's a nice little bonus effect. Really makes me wonder what this +2 to damage rolls is doing here on Mastery of Fire, but hey-ho. Desiccate. Interesting. Oh god, my nose. Ah, 1 second. Shadowhound, so Megumi. Is that the Jujutsu Kaisen guy? I can't remember. I've only watched season 1 and that was a very long time ago. In my opinion, water is the most versatile for a lot of other classes and builds. Okay, interesting. Desiccate. Draw the moisture from a creature dealing necrotic damage. Oh, so that's why it deals necrotic damage. That's actually a cool way of flavoring that. That's cool. I like that one. I never thought of, like, water dealing necrotic damage, but yeah, just take the water from their body. What are they going to do? Drink? Watery Grasp. 2d6 bludgeoning damage. Pull a creature into an area with tidal force. Okay, so Water Whip then. That's pretty nice. Can either pull creatures towards you and knock them prone. Yeah, so that's Water Whip. Yes, Jujutsu Kaisen. Ah, wait, Mother Robes, definitely. Oh, yeah. Unleash a jet of water in a line, blasting creatures caught in the blast. 3d6 bludgeoning damage. Yep, nothing wrong there. That was actually called Water Whip. Water Sphere. Create a sphere of water around a creature, trapping it. While trapped, its movement speed is halved, it suffers disadvantage on attack rolls, and its sight range is reduced to 3 meters. Holy shit. However, attack rolls against it also suffer disadvantage. The creature can repeat the saving throw, which is a dex save on each of its turns. Okay, that's interesting. So it's like battlefield control with a trade-off. It gains a lot of debuffs, but also it's harder to hit. So it's a bit like a Resilient Sphere or something like that. That's interesting. I like that one. Never underestimate the Waterbender. Yeah. And then Animate Water, which gives you a Water Elemental. Fair enough. No, I'm liking all of these so far. These all seem fairly balanced, except for Fire, which has that really weird +2 to damage rolls. I don't know why that's there. Mastery of Weather. Okay, this is the Lightning and Thunder one. Water Luffy begs to differ. I've not seen One Piece, so I don't know what you're on about there. Gain resistance to lightning and thunder damage. Okay, so the level 6 feature of Storm Sorcerer at level 1. Again, with the psionic focusing, you can't have it up all the time if you want to do other stuff, but still, it's kind of busted, especially when you consider that you can become immune to 2 damage types with the Wu Gen. Okay. Hungry Lightning. Lash out with tendrils of lightning. Has advantage on creatures wearing metal armor. Yep, that's fine. That is just a solid lightning damage cantrip spell thing. That's pretty good. Wall of Clouds. Summon a clouds that blocks vision. Okay, so Fog Cloud. Whirlwind. Create a vortex of howling winds, pulling creatures towards the center. On the target, still take half damage on a save, and it's a strength save. Yeah, I mean, it's a wind attack. That's cool. We need more of those. Give it a go. It's really good. I don't have time to sit down and watch like 1,300 episodes or whatever it is, man. Lightning Leap. Ooh, I love the icon. Whoever did the icons for this, I absolutely applaud them. Like, holy shit. The mod author really went all in on this mod. Surge forward with a flash of lightning, shocking everything in your path. You can spend additional side points to increase this action's potency. Yeah, so it's just, it's like lightning bolt, but if you're like actually running through it, like the Flash. That's kind of sick. 1061 episodes, Jesus. Also a potion that makes Soul Knife better. Okay, I'll have a look at the equipment at some point. Wall of Thunder. 66 thunder damage. Create a wall of raging thunder clouds. Creatures moving through the clouds have their movement speed halved. The clouds damage any creature that tries to enter or remain inside. Damaged creatures are also pushed away. Strength save. Targets take half damage. Concentration. 6 side points. I like that. I love the idea of just, like, summoning a storm down on the earth that, like, messes with people because of all the electricity jolting around and, like, the thunderous booms. So cool. And then Thunderclap. 8d6 thunder damage. Thunderous energy erupts aside and targeted area, stunning creatures inside. Yeah, with how powerful stun is, I'm glad that's the high-level feature, but that feels like a nice capstone. That's a very cool one. And then Mastery of Wood and Earth. Here we go. Increase your armor class by 1. Honestly, that's not bad. The defense fighting style does the same thing. I'm okay with that. Tempest Domain Storm Sorcerer, never heard of him. Yeah, but that's the thing. The Mystic Masteries here, they're doing stuff that, like, is different than those other classes in certain ways. So, I can respect it. The Thunderbringer, yeah. So yeah, +1 to your armor class. Yeah, that's fine. One second, guys. I am just going to have to do a quick BRB. Something's come up. I think it's related to the storm. I think something's happened outside. So I'll be right back. Just give me a moment. I'm going to put up my BRB screen. And I'll be back soon, hopefully. All right. I'll be back soon. Have a break. Do a stretch break. Get some water. Do all the good stuff you normally need to do. All right. See you all in a bit. Hi all, I'm back fairly soon. I'm afraid I'm going to have to end stream here because my garden fence and my shed are literally blowing away in the wind. Or are about to if I don't go out and fix them right now. So I've got to go end stream really quick. I'm really, really sorry that we're cutting it off here, but if I don't go and do something now, I'm going to lose, like, a bunch of stuff. So I've got to run. Thank you all for coming today. Sorry it's been cut short. We will resume this. I might find some time for it next weekend. Otherwise, well, sorry, but do expect Mystic builds in the future and such like that, and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, no, shit's literally falling apart out there. I've got to go quick. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Again, incredibly sorry.